I love you so much, girls.
I just wanna know where we go from here. I don't want this love to just disappear. Lord, I need you to feel this atmosphere. I need all your love. I need all your love.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Shayla and I've been documenting my weight loss journey in a series known as Discipline Diaries. Also shared many other things regarding my hobbies, motherhood, career updates, my faith in Jesus Christ, and just anything along this life journey as a whole. This weekend, I wanted to film a mid-year reset. Tomorrow is August 1st. We're a little past the midpoint mark for the year. However, it's never too late to get it done. And I wanted to take this reset a little deeper and really audit every area of my life. Instead of sitting down and making this one video where I'm just talking to the camera, I'm basically taking y'all along with me through this weekend, and throughout the weekend, we will audit each area of my life. We're going to be looking at what's working, what's not working, and what I want to commit to or recommit to for the remainder of the year. The timing of me wanting to film this video actually worked out perfectly because this weekend I'm having girls' night with two of my friends, and we're actually doing a sleepover where we're going to be auditing every area of our lives. And not only that, we're going to create prayer points for each area so we can pray over each other and cover each other. So we're going to be looking at fitness, nutrition, relationships, spiritual life, hobbies, personal, career development, finances, rest and recovery, pretty much every area you can think of where there can be goals set. We're reviewing this weekend. You can also go ahead and join me in auditing your life, maybe a pen and paper, type it in the comments, whatever you want to do to evaluate your own life and what you need to commit to for the rest of 2026. Since I'm sitting outside the gym, I figured physical fitness is the perfect area to start. But let's get a workout in first and then we'll chit chat afterwards. Okay, that was a great workout. I'm still all sweaty, so bear with me. But fitness, what's working? I think strength training has genuinely become part of my lifestyle now. Over the last year, there has been maybe 3 weeks where I did cardio only or rested. Other than that, I've been consistently working out and moving my body in the form of strength training. I'm more consistent with working out than I've ever been in my life. And I also feel like I've learned when to listen to my body and change things up, to adjust when my body needs it, and do things like those reset weeks where I take a step back and only do cardio or maybe take a full rest. I think in this aspect, I'm doing pretty good, if I do say so myself, okay? Now, what's not working? My steps and cardio has not always been consistent. Not from a standpoint of I don't want to, but I do have a history of a lot of tendon issues in my feet. I have very flat feet, and a little over a year ago, I had some posterior tibial issues. That's the one that holds up your arch. So I had issues then. I was in a boot for several months, came back. Since then, I've never been able to walk the way I used to. There were periods of time earlier this year I was able to get my hour walks in, no problem. But more recently, in recent weeks, I've been having issues again with the other foot. But the right one is more so the peroneal tendon or peroneal, whatever it's called, that tendon. So that's what's not working. Being consistent with steps and cardio, but again, it's not from a standpoint of I don't want to. It's more so I have to be mindful because overuse of said tendons is what causes it to get worse, which may require me to be immobilized, aka a boot again. And I really don't want to do that. I don't want to get to that point. So I'm just trying to ebb and flow with it, do what I can. I've pulled back as far as steps. I wasn't doing 10,000, I was doing 7,000, but I've pulled back even further, now doing 5,000. Anything over that is cool, but 5,000 more so focused steps, meaning I'm getting my walk-in on the walking pad to get these steps, and then anything that I get from ADL's, Activities of Daily Living, then that's just extra steps. But I'm trying to focus on getting 5,000 intentional steps and whatever I get through lifestyle is great added to it. But I've pulled back a little bit to give my tendon a little bit of rest, and I'm just praying for Jehovah Rapha to step in and continue to work on healing my foot so I don't have to worry about this every single week. Another thing I feel like is not working is my home workout setup. Right now, I've made weekends intentional workout days, so that way I have less to do during the week. So Saturday and Sunday is usually easier for me to go get a workout in by myself. And then I have 2 days during the week where I need to work out. I've been doing Mondays because my daughter's with her dad still, and then 1 day during the week as well. That is often at home, or I'll go to the gym if I have the ability to do so. My mom may be watching my daughter for me, so I'll go step away to the gym and get a workout in. But for the days where I work out at home, I would like a better setup. I would. However, I'm putting a hold on getting a new setup because I am moving in the fall and I don't want to continue to buy new things to add to the packing and moving process. So I'm going to stick with what I got for now. But after my move, I will work on getting the weights that I actually currently need, not the weights that I have from long ago. As far as recommitting and focusing for the rest of the year, I also think it's time for me to go back to my old podiatrist. A couple weeks ago, I tried someone new and I did not like the way that appointment went because they didn't really do x-rays and all those detailed things. He kind of just felt it, told me rest for 2 weeks and come back. I didn't end up going back. I'm going to go to my OG podiatrist, go ahead and schedule an appointment, see him because I know he does full x-rays and all the things. Also, I have a goal of getting fitted for some walking shoes and or custom insoles. My podiatrist recommended that for me back then, but I was like, I cannot pay for that. So I said no. But when I go to my appointment, I'll definitely bring up, hey, about those insoles, let's talk about it again. Because I think I need some custom insoles and not these ones that I've been using off Amazon. I think that would definitely help me with my walk and everything. So 2 commitments, going back to my podiatrist, getting some insoles or new walking shoes to support my health journey. I also want to really focus on my strength training goals and progressively overloading. I have recently moved up in weight in several movements, especially chest presses, shoulder presses, mainly upper body things. I don't know why lower body stuff scares me, like I'm going to injure myself. I want to focus on moving up more and continuing to overload and push my capabilities to what I can actually lift and continue to grow in that area because I still think I'm lifting less than I should be for arms, but especially for my legs. So I need to lock in that area for sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go home and we'll pick up tomorrow where we discuss our next area, which is nutrition.
When I think about His grace, there's freedom, something like a woman brave. I'm grateful for the loving that you gave. It's so amazing. No matter who we are, we know you'll never change. I'm in awe of how you keep doing something amazing.
I showed y'all what I cooked and ate for dinner last night, so I think we should go ahead and go into the topic of nutrition, which is such a huge part of this journey. So first, what's working? What I think is working for me right now is truly finding balance, especially during the summer months, and understanding that while all things are plausible, not all things are beneficial. I focus on, okay, Shayla, you know how your body responds to this. You know how you feel after this. How do your energy levels feel? How your gut, bloating, anything, satiety, all those things are way more important to me than anything else. So that has fueled my desire to choose better things for myself. And I've never had that mindset in all the journeys I've ever done. My lifestyle and mindset was more so if it fits your macros. So all I cared about was calorie deficit, nothing else. If I'm eating Chick-fil-A in calorie deficit or I'm eating Raising Cane's in a calorie deficit, I could have that every single day if I wanted to. But that is not my framework right now. And to be honest, I feel like that's as of recent months that my mindset has gotten even narrower in that aspect. Like laser focused on, I don't want to feel like this. Or I don't want to need a nap after I eat something because I eat something that's gonna make me be sluggish. And it kind of ties into the second thing of what has been working. And it's leveling the playing field with food and understanding that there's not good food, bad food. It's just food. Some things will make me feel good inside and put me towards my goals. And some things will make me feel a little nastier inside and maybe slow down my progress to my goals. It's more so weighed on a spectrum of internal feeling and goals. What will it do for my body? How will it fuel me? How will I respond to it? Am I going to be hungry right after I eat this? Those kind of things fuel my decisions more than just this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this is good. What else has been working in terms of nutrition is simplifying my meals and not having a drive to be so diverse and trying a bunch of new recipes. I think that's working for me because initially I was like, oh my gosh, I want to try new things. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. But honestly, taking that out of the process has been easier for me. Simplifying it down to these are the basic components of what makes my meals, and I just need to focus on my protein, my fiber, those kind of things, is way easier than me trying to be adventurous and try a new recipe every single week. I know some people thrive off of that, and that is great. I think it's good to be adventurous with your meals. But for me, I think it takes away the decision fatigue and just the extra steps. It saves time and all that when I know what I'm cooking. I know the possibilities. I know how to make it, and I'm good to go. Simple things that don't require a lot of step-by-step process, constantly looking at a recipe and trying to figure out what the next step is here. I like things simple. Another thing that's been working for me is more structure on my weekends. Me planning for weekends and prepping for weekends has been so beneficial for me. Doing fun foods on the weekend, meaning wings. Y'all seen me eat wings many a Saturday and Sunday. Eat a couple wings, that'll be my treat. Homemade fries, different things like that, where it's still something that I'm prepping and cooking at home, but it's more fun than my usual meal prep would be. And I think that has also been a game changer for me because the weekends no longer feel like, okay, I did good during this week. Now what do I want to eat? No, eat the same things you've been eating, or at least structure your meals in the same structure you've been structuring it with through the week. So I've carried that with me on the weekends, and that has been so helpful. This week in particular, I made my food on Monday, prepped everything for what I needed for the week, and then I cooked again yesterday, which is Friday. So I have food for yesterday and today, lunch. I have girls' night tonight. We're making homemade burgers and fries, and I also went by my own keto bread. So for my burgers, if you don't know, I do have type 2 diabetes and take Manjaro. I'm going to use my keto bread for my burgers, and then I'll be able to eat the fries, and then they're getting a dessert. I went ahead and got my no sugar added ice cream. I'm going to bring that over there. And then I was in charge of beverages, so I got like a off-brand of sparkling ice, no sugar, no calories, all that. So it's things like that. Still able to have a fun weekend, but having more structure and being more mindful in the process. It's girls' night. We do girls' nights every single month, and this one happens to be a sleepover where we're doing a whole life audit. I'm going to be there all night long into the morning, so I prepared myself. And while we're on the topic of nutrition and what has been working for me, I do want to talk about today's sponsor, which is Nourish, who is partnering with me yet again. A lot of those changes I just talked about as far as my mindset around nutrition and food comes from my work with my dietitian. I have really started to focus on how I'm feeling internally rather than just the numerical changes to measure how well I'm doing on this journey. That means focusing on things like how are my energy levels, how am I feeling after meals, what keeps me satisfied, paying attention to hunger cues. Paying attention to these things for the first time in my life has genuinely made me want to do better for myself. It's made me have a true desire to give my body what it needs rather than feeling like I have to do this. Oh, I need to do this because of weight loss. I need to do this to lose this amount of weight. I need to do this. I'm required to do this. More so, I want to do this for myself. I deserve this. If you're not familiar with Nourish, they connect you one-on-one with a registered dietitian based on your individual needs and goals. Since April, I've been able to work with someone who understands that I'm navigating weight loss and diabetes while managing a full life. So the guidance that I'm getting is personalized for me and my lifestyle. Through the Nourish app, you're able to log meals, track goals, look at recipes, meal prepping ideas, so many resources that are available in there to help you along your journey. Another feature that I think is really cool as someone who does love a little bit of data is that your dietitian can order labs and blood work for you, and then they can also go ahead and review that with you so y'all can have even more information on what is happening in your body instead of just guessing. Nourish has something called a Nourish guarantee, which means no surprise billing. Your appointment should never cost more than the initial estimate that you receive up front. Personally, since I've been using them, I have not had to pay anything out of pocket. It's been fully covered by my insurance. As I'm doing this life audit and thinking about what I want to carry with me for the remainder of the year, the lessons that I've learned, the mindset shifts, and all those changes are definitely things that I want to keep with me for the remainder of this year. I want to continue paying attention to my body and how it feels and how it responds to what I'm pouring into it. If you're working on your own health and nutrition goals and think having that individualized support can be beneficial to you, go ahead and click the link in the top of my description box or scan the QR code on the screen to check your insurance coverage, get matched with a registered dietitian, and book your first appointment with Nourish. Huge thank you to Nourish for sponsoring today's video and supporting this channel. I made my daughter breakfast and then I was up here hungry. Let's make us a little smoothie using this ratio yogurt and the flavor pina colada. pina colada. And then I'm gonna add in some blueberries, almond milk, and my protein powder. I'm using Earth Chimp.
Let's add some more cereal.
Okay, we're back. Smoothie is made. I need a little something, child. It's so good too. So this smoothie comes out to 41 grams of protein with 18 grams of fiber. Great way to start the day. I do need something to chew as well, so I'm gonna eat something else in a little bit. Let's get into what's not working as far as nutrition. Y'all, I had the biggest revelation / moment of complete what? No way. Girl, huh? Earlier this week. I've talked several times saying, I'm not gaining any weight. I'm just maintaining. I'm maintaining. The scale's not going down, but it's maintaining. I'm maintaining because I am eating maintenance calories. I know for a fact earlier this year, I remember recording a clip where I talked about how, okay, it's time to reassess deficit and drop my calories down because what was my deficit when I started is not my deficit now. I know I talked about that, but I could not. When I thought about this the other day, I went and searched my videos to try to find where that was, and I can't find it. But I talked about it and planned it and then never took any action towards it. Like I talked about it and knew that my deficit had to change, and I never changed it. So I've been consistently eating at my maintenance calories. And it's not that, oh, I didn't know I'm supposed to drop my deficit once you lose weight. I knew that for a fact already. And I talked and planned to do that. And then I don't know, that's a testament to how fast I'm always moving because I planned it, talked about it, and moved on and never thought about it again until this week. This week, when I was planning to do this audit, I'm like, okay, let me think about, the things that I'm like, wait, wasn't my deficit supposed to change a long time ago? And it was. I don't know. If you remember me talking about it, let me know. But I remember even talking about it in the comments of that video with somebody. I was talking about how I want to lose weight at the lowest deficit possible. So that way, as I continue to lose weight, it's easier for me to continue losing rather than having to drop down significantly because I started way too low. And then I'd never dropped my deficit. When I say I was so confused when I realized this week, I called my sister. I'm like, girl, guess what? I was telling her, I'm like, girl, I feel like the biggest idiot because I was supposed to change my calories months ago. Knew that, talked about it, thought about it, planned it, and then went back to logging the same thing I've been logging. I'm going to pop up the last 2 weeks of tracking however many days. 1967, 1949, 1964, 1887, 2069, 2075, 1749, 2010, 1850. Like I've been eating maintenance calories and then telling myself, well, at least I'm not gaining, I'm maintaining. When I started, my maintenance calories was between 22 and 2,300. So a deficit of 2,000, great. Well, that was 55 pounds ago. So this week, I actually reassessed my deficit.
On your phone.
On my clothes?
Yeah.
It's a microphone, so it helps me talk to the camera so they can hear me well.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Shayla, Santa, hi, guy. What the bird be? Jump up inside the moon,
What do you want to tell them?
I love you so much, girls. Gotta wait. You say hallelujah. Well, first say hallelujah. Alpha way, gotta wait. To wait.
And we sing hallelujah. I want to be losing weight at the lowest possible deficit for as long as possible. But like I said, I should have brought my calories down. That's why I'm at maintenance. When I say maintenance, I mean to a T. I have consistently been around 290 since April. 290, 291, 290, 289, 290. As of me realizing that this week and reassessing and bringing my calories down a little bit, I've lost 3 pounds this week. Like, come on. Be for real. Be for real. When I do my TDE, I do choose light exercise. I could even say sedentary because realistically, working out 3 to 4 times a week for 30, 45 minutes at a time but sitting down all day working is not an active lifestyle. That's why I choose light exercise. I'm going off of those calories. I usually don't even share things like my calories and deficit and all that for a very specific reason, because a lot of people want to know what everyone else is doing and they try to follow that exact thing, but it varies by person. It depends on your height, your current weight, your age, your activity level, your biology, your genetics as well. You can be someone shorter than me who weighs less than me, but because your activity level is so high, they might have your maintenance similar to mine. Just so many variables that go into it. So I choose not to share to prevent that kind of conversation of, oh, well, should I do? I ain't nobody doctor. I ain't nobody dietitian, nutritionist, coach, nothing. If you're interested and want to know, Google TDEE calculator, put in all your stats, be honest about activity level. Be honest about activity level, because if you put that you're very active and you're actually not, you'll be eating way more than you should be. I weighed in today, actually. Today's August 1st, 287.8. 287.8 when, let me just pull up historical data. May 16th, 290.6. June 13th, 290.6. July 14th, 291.2. July 21st, even 291.6. It was earlier this week, I think it was Sunday or Saturday, that I realized this. That's when I went ahead and changed my Lose It app and changed my calories and everything. July 26th, 290. July 28th, 288.4. July 31st, which was yesterday, 288. And then today, 287.8. It makes me want to look at myself and be like, girl, you big fool. Because just in a week of changing my deficit, the scale is moving again. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? So the last thing for nutrition is, what am I committing to or recommitting to for the remainder of the year? I feel like this has been a long chat, but nutrition is the biggest portion of weight loss. So I feel like it needs a long section of this when it comes to my life audit. I'm committing to continue to track my food, that's for sure. I want to try at least 2 new foods, especially in terms of vegetables. I was someone who did not eat vegetables at all in my adult life, and now I do. So I want to explore maybe 2 for the remainder of the year. I feel like once you have your couple that you eat, just stick with them. But I just want to expand myself in that way. I want to cook more fun foods on the weekend and carving out real intentional time for me to just follow a recipe and make something new that's fun. As far as food and what I'm consuming, I think I'm doing well based on the standards that I set for myself. And I want to continue to carry that through the rest of this year now with this new set deficit in place. And then we're going to see what happens. I need to finish my daughter's hair, so I'm going to go ahead and go do that. We're going to chill for some time, and then all I really need to do today is focus on editing, and then I'm going to pack my spend a night bag. I'll drop my daughter off to her dad, and then it'll be girls' night. Some very unfortunate news. While I was doing my daughter's hair, my camera fell off the table and the screen is shattered. It's black. I cannot see anything. I'm using my phone to monitor. I just filed a claim using my protection package. Thank God I had a warranty in place. It actually was a 2-year warranty, which expires in January. If you've been watching me, you know I just had an issue with my car, and my car's warranty expires in January. Like, can I please catch a break? Can I please can I catch a break? But I had a quick moment of like panicking. And then I said, let's sit down and look at this warranty stuff. So I paused my daughter's hair, looked at everything, filed the claim, printed out the paper, and calmed down. I'm gonna go ahead and finish filming this video today and tomorrow, as long as it's still working. And then I keep looking at the black screen like I'm looking at something and there's nothing there. Then I'll ship it off on Monday and find out whether they're gonna fix it, give me a new one, refund, whatever it may be, and then we'll move forward. So just letting y'all know now, Discipline Diaries may or may not be here next week. The plan now is to go ahead and film this upcoming video on my phone, but I don't really have a lot of storage, so we'll see. If I do film a Discipline Diaries, it's gonna be way shorter than usual, probably like 15-20 minutes. Not posting no hour vlog coming from my phone, so we'll see what I end up doing, but that's where we're at right now. I'm in good spirits again because I'm very solution focused. Something happens, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then I'm gonna pause and be like, okay, so what's the game plan? How do I figure this out? Because harping on what's going on and whining and crying and moping and groaning for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days doesn't change the actual issue. So what can I do? Get the camera shipped off, figure something out. It's out of my control. I can't do anything else but that. I'm thankful that I have the ability to at least view the camera footage from here when I need to check an angle or whatever. So bear with me for the rest of this video. We'll do what we can, and just finished my daughter's hair. I'm about to pack her bag, which I don't really need to pack anything. She has stuff at her dad's house. I want to clean up my daughter's doors, sweep, and I need to do these dishes because I don't want to come home to a dirty home. I don't want to get home tomorrow and have to clean up everything that I left. So I'm going to eat, clean up a little bit, and then if I could squeeze in a nap, I really want to. I really, really do. Shower, nap. I need to pack my bag. I don't know if we'll get a nap in, but if we do, I'm gonna take me just a little 30 minute, we'll see. We shall see. Took a shower. I didn't take a nap, but I did lay down on the bed for about 15 minutes, and that really just gave me a little bit of energy that I needed. Let's get into another category, which will be home maintenance, cleaning routine, all that. I had a good loose routine as far as me only doing like laundry, cleaning during the weekdays instead of weekends. I tried to push it to that for a while, and that was working great. But recently I fell off my cleaning schedule a little bit, and then finally within the last 2 weeks I picked it back up, because usually I would do like a little closing shift every night, meaning I was washing the dishes every night. I was going through and straightening my daughter's toys up every night and just making sure things look orderly, not doing like a clean as in spraying, wiping down, mopping, but at least sweeping the floor, putting up toys, making sure things were where they're supposed to be before I go to bed. So that definitely fell off for a while. So that'll go into our category of what's not working, is not having a structured cleaning schedule. I do very well with structure, planning, scheduling, all those things. I think that's really the only thing my schedule kind of fell off with, being consistent with keeping my house together. I also cannot wait to move, so all my daughter's toys that are out there can go back into her room. My mom is currently in her room. She has some stuff in there, but I keep a bunch of it in the living room as well. So that way when I'm working in the living and dining room, she's right here and I'm able to, do both at the same time. But that won't be there for long. So that's just like a thing that just makes me like, ugh, about the living room, is because there's so much stuff in there. There's no need to fret because it won't always be like this. Okay. What is working, I would definitely say probably keeping the cleaning to weekdays. I really love that routine, particularly Monday. Monday's already that day where it's like, ugh. So I like getting things done on Monday, like washing the clothes on Monday, folding them on Monday, sometimes Tuesday. But I like doing that during the week. I want my weekends to actually be weekends. So I will say that is working, even though I fell off a little bit prior to. That was working very, very well. So we'll go ahead and stick that in the category of what I'm committing to. I'm committing to making sure that I do most of the household stuff that I can during the week. Like I want to make a detailed schedule as far as frequency of cleaning different areas. I think my planner has that in there in the front, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. That's what I'm committing to for the rest of this year, having a cleaning schedule. Another thing we need to commit to is continuing to condense the things that I have. It's August 1st, so I'll be moving out of this apartment within 3 months. So I want to commit to not bringing any big new purchases in. Also, within the next month or two, I need to go ahead and start getting rid of some of the stuff that I don't want to keep and throwing away all the things that I'm holding on to that I shouldn't hold to, that hold no value. Like, why do you have a piece of mail from 6 years ago sitting in the cabinet? Like, get rid of that kind of stuff. So that's really it for the home category. I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting ready, get my stuff in the car, and then I will see y'all either in the car or a little bit later.
Always sisters, always friends. Let's stay real close till the end. Forgiving me.
Hey y'all, happy Sunday. I just got home from girls' night. I didn't record a whole bunch. We had such a good time. I think this was a great idea for girls' night. If you have a group of friends, come together for a night and do a life audit. I use my phone and I mirror to the TV to show all the areas and prompts and like discussion questions we had or things to go over. For some of them, we wrote them down to answer, and then some of them we just discussed out loud only. But it was great. It was so reflective. It was a perfect time to, you know, really take a deep, honest reflection on what's going on right now. How are we doing? What do we need prayer for the rest of the year? What areas are we struggling with in all these different areas? It was just really, really good. Fun time, a lot of keys, laughs, cries, all the things. I would recommend that if you have some friends, try to get together and just have a little reset. It's never too late. You can do a fourth quarter reset if you see this video by that time, to be honest. It's never too late. Anyways, speaking of girls' night, let's go ahead and talk about relationships. What is working? I think over the last year of my life, I've done a way better job of getting out the house and doing things and saying yes to more things, because I'm someone who does not have a lick of FOMO. I will happily say no to anything I don't want to go to, and I will sit in this house. Send me a little picture or post it on your story. I'll see it, love it, and move on. I've always been the kind of person who would rather be by myself. However, one of the things that God convicted me of a little over a year ago and I started to pray about was my desire to be in isolation when that is not what he called us to be. He called us to be in community for a reason. And now that I have community and have women that I hang out with on a regular basis, and, you know, iron sharpening iron, I understand why community is required for this walk with Christ. God uses people to speak to people. Your friends can be your eyes and ears for things that you may not see is going on in your own life. They can be honest with you and what they're seeing, you know, pray over certain areas for you. And it's just, it's so key. It's so key. Anyways, like I said, what's working is me saying yes and doing more things out the house, saying yes to more plans, you know, hanging out with people more. That is working, and I'm enjoying that so much. What's not working for me, I can be a poor texter. And I think it works with the people that I communicate with because we understand each other, where you might text me on Sunday and I might respond on Wednesday, Thursday. With some friends, we even do voice notes only, where it's like, I'll send a long voice note Sunday. She'll send a long voice note back on Tuesday. I'll send a long voice note back on Friday. And we just have that understanding, and it's fine. But I want to get a little bit better at that. When I have too many text notifications, I just don't always reply. Then I'll have a burst of energy to go ahead and reply, and I'll respond to like every text within a span of 5 minutes. It's like a window of response time versus it's just gonna sit there. But I want to do better at that. That's not to brag and say, yeah, I just like to not respond. No, I want to get better at that. What's also not working is I think I don't do a good job of reaching out first. I don't do a good job of reaching out first to my friends. Most of them, pretty much all of them, know to reach out to me, and I'm always available, always there to help. Any favor you need, any guidance, questions, whatever it is, I'm always there to help. But reaching out first is not my best skill. So that's another thing that's not working. As far as relationships with like family, I think my familial relationships are fine. I do need to reach out to my grandparents a little bit more. They're still in Louisiana. I need to be more intentional there and maybe take a trip out there soon. They'll be in Texas soon as well, so I'll be able to see them easier. But reaching out in general is a current weak point. So what am I committing to or recommitting to for the remainder of the year? Mainly that. Committing to being more intentional about reaching out to my friends and family first. I've even done things where I write it in my planner sometimes, like, hey, text so-and-so, hey, check on so-and-so. If it doesn't come natural to me, I want to build that habit by scheduling it if need be. And then hopefully the point will be that I no longer have to schedule it, because now that muscle has been worked and it's a natural part of my routine to reach out to people first and see how they're doing, check on them, whatever it may be, share some words of encouragement. I'm thinking about you, prayer, just anything. I want to get better at that. My bad, y'all. I was getting cotton mouth and my chapstick was gunking up, but I'm not refilming that. We keep it real over here. Chapstick was gunking up all in my lip. No, ma'am. I haven't even put myself together yet today. Also, I would like to host one thing before the end of the year. Before December 31st, I want to host a movie night, a game night, something in my house for a few of my friends to come together and just have a good time. So I'm gonna make that a plan and a goal. After I move, I could do a little housewarming game night or something. I would love to do that. Is there anything else for relationships? I ain't got no romantic relationships to talk about, child. It's nothing going on there, and I don't plan for it to be anytime soon. I'm gonna go ahead and freshen up and change my clothes, and then I will see y'all back in this kitchen to do a quick inventory and make a grocery list. All right, so here's what we ended up getting from the grocery store. Everything laid out here. You saw most of this in the cart. We got russet potatoes, bananas, chicken breast tenders, some apples, ground beef, carrots, Greek yogurt, 3 of the Ratio Pro Fiber yogurt, some turkey sausage, cheese, and turkey. I need to hurry up and put all this stuff away, and then we'll chit chat afterward. Also got a 50 count of paper plate, toilet paper that was 12 rolls, and paper towels that had 6 rolls. So all of that came out to $84, which is good or bad depending on where you live. I'm gonna go ahead and put all this stuff up, and then we will talk about the next category, which is finances. Okay, so I cannot figure out how to get my mic to connect via the app. Camera's still broken. We're just gonna rock, but I usually film my videos with no mic anyway. Finances. This is a big one. Let me pull up my notes that I have for this. I already did a full in-depth audit of my finances recently. Made some changes, took a little bit of action, but got to take it a step further. I have a full-time job working as a social worker. I started this YouTube thing. I'm also building my private practice to get back into providing therapy, so that'll be my 3rd source of income. My main focus right now is stewarding my finances better. It does not matter how much money you have, how much money you get, how much money you lose, or anything if you don't know how to steward your finances well. If you were a poor steward of finances with little, you will likely be a poor steward of finances with a lot. And one thing I've noticed when it comes to food issues, really gluttony. Gluttony is more than just eating, so it's very common to see if you lack self-control when it comes to your eating habits, you may have some financial issues as well. And I was definitely there. I've come a long way. I've cut so many of the bad habits that I used to have drastically, very drastically, to be honest. With the season that I'm in and building discipline in life and walking into new things, I understand that the season that I'm entering in requires different financial habits than the one that I'm exiting. There are a few areas that I really want to clean up and just be better overall. And we'll get into it a little bit. What's working? What's working is me looking at my budget more often, reviewing things, checking things often, randomly assessing, is this needed? Is this necessary? My bills are my bills. Those are pretty much set. There's some variability in price, especially during this time of year, child. Whew. Why was my rent up like $150 this month? And electricity already gonna be up in arm and a leg. Like, anyways, those bills, there's nothing more I can do to decrease them. But by me looking at my variable expenses a little bit more and actually tracking every single purchase that comes out of my accounts has been so beneficial to me. Because I'm like, it didn't seem like a lot, but why in the span of 3 days did you have several different small Amazon purchases, small purchase here, small purchase there? That stuff adds up. That is working for me. Regularly sitting down, reviewing my financial planner, my tracker, and going over everything that's going on and reassessing. What else is working? I would say the safeguards that I put in place in regard to my impulsivity. Impulsivity can be one of many symptoms of ADHD, and impulsivity was a struggle for me for a very long time when it comes to food and money. I have safeguards in place now that prevent me from being impulsive. For instance, like for Amazon, if I want to buy something, I put it in the cart and then move on for like a day or two and then go back to the cart and see, is it really something I need right now? And I'd say about 8 to 9 out of 10, I don't end up buying it. In the past, I would see something I want, put it in the cart, it's already bought and on the way to the house, and it's gonna be here in the next 3-4 hours. What else is working? Honestly, God is working. God is working in renewing my mind and helping me to understand a full identity as a child of God, and understanding that I lack nothing. There's no need to hold on to generational thought patterns of scarcity, of lack, of inability to obtain more, putting a ceiling on where you think you can grow to. Yeah, he's really renewing my mind in that area. So because of that, it makes me want to in turn be a good steward with my finances. Like, I want to do well. I want to make good decisions. I want to please God in that aspect. So that is really what's working. What's not working? I would say I could be a little more honest about what is not a necessary expense. What wasn't working was I wasn't actually following my budget to a T. So now I'm in a place of trying to do so. So now my recommitments or commitments in relation to finances. One, I'm committing to really looking at each purchase that I'm making, especially if it's online, to see, is this really like something that you need right now? Or is it just like you just got excited and you want to get it? Continuing to focus on that and be mindful in that area. Another thing I'm committing to for the rest of the year is no new recurring expense. So there, right now, I have no reason to add any new recurring expense. I did just add some because I have recurring expenses for private practice, but outside of that, I don't want to add any new recurring expense, no new subscription, no new nothing. And actually, I'm committing to going ahead and reviewing my subscriptions yet again. I just looked at them a couple weeks ago, but I think I still need to let go. So I'm going to review that tonight, actually. I already canceled ClassPass when I was in the car earlier. Or did I put it on pause? I canceled it. So I'm like, I'm gonna get that back later, but I'm like, it's not really a necessary expense right now, girl. And I want to do a no spend month. I want to do a no spend month. I was thinking no spend September, because spend September, hello, no spend September. But I'm going on a little trip on a weekend in September. It's more so no unplanned spending. Nothing, no random here, oh, just $3 here, nothing. I'm gonna come up with my own plan and guidelines around that for myself, but I'm committing to doing that this year. If it's not in September, I want to do it at least one full month before the year's up. I'm trying to build discipline in many areas of my life, so that'll be another one that I'm just trying to lock into. All right, I need to go get to this table and sit down and do my planning. Not only is my weekly planning, but it's monthly planning now because it's a new month. We're in August, so I'm gonna pull my calendar off the fridge, sit down, erase that, do that out. I need to do my regular planner, my content planner, see what we have going on for the month of August and make sure I have a clear plan for this month so I can stay focused on what I have to do and what's going on. Just sat down so I can go ahead and eat dinner. It's the leftovers from what I made on Friday. Then I'm gonna get back to editing for at least another 2 hours, and then we'll find a good stopping point, go ahead and shower, wind down, and all that good stuff. Before I go ahead and eat and edit, I want to talk about work or career. That's the next category. I think I'm doing a good job of balancing them without feeling stressed. Even when I know I have a lot to get done in certain areas, it doesn't stress me out. I just know I need to plan accordingly. Constantly checking in with myself like, okay, hold up. Are we doing too much here? Can we do more here? Do we need to focus here? Do we need to pull back here? I'm doing that on the regular, so I think I'm able to give myself grace with a lot of things when it comes to juggling all those things. I think what's working right now is also showing myself grace whenever I cannot get something done, not because I'm being lazy, but because I genuinely can't get it done that day, so I push the next day. I'll say that's working for me right now, and also not working. We'll talk about that in a second. But I also do something called admin days, where I'm basically just getting things done related to business things, also some life things as well. Like if I have any phone calls to make, appointments, things to sign, emails to send, whatever it is related to work, business, career, I'll go ahead and dedicate a day to get all those things done. Even as far as YouTube, like brand emails, sometimes I just let them sit there and then I respond to a bunch of emails all in one sitting. So admin days have been a huge game changer for me. Instead of feeling like I'm constantly being pulled in a million directions, I just dedicate a day to get those things done. Another thing that's working for me right now is simply not trying to be perfect, and also always willing to learn. I won't present myself as an expert in anything. I'm figuring out so many things in so many different areas, and I'm always going to be a student. Because I'm always willing to learn, I'm open to, figuring out a better way to do something, or hey, I don't know how to figure this thing out as far as private practice. Let me go ahead and do some research and figure out what this is. Or hey, how do you do this type of editing thing? Or how do they do that on YouTube? I'm always researching and willing to grow and learn in those areas so I can get better at all the things that I'm doing. I don't like to halfway do anything. So if I'm going to do it, I want to do it well, so that constantly being a student is key for that. Was not working, I would say not giving myself hard deadlines on some things. I think I need to start setting hard deadlines when, hey, this needs to be done by this. You need to complete these 3 tasks by this day, and setting those and following it. So that's why I said that giving myself grace is working for me, but also not, because there is a point in which you're giving yourself too much grace. And I don't think I fall into that area too much. There are some things I can look at and be like, you should have got that done a long time ago, and you keep procrastinating and putting this thing off. I want to be more aware of when it's actually grace or me enabling myself to procrastinate. Another thing that's not working is not having a schedule or routine around content, work time, business time, all that. Like, hey, these days in the week you do editing, these days of the week you do private practice stuff. Like, I want to have more structure around the scheduling of that, and that'll lead me into what I'm committing to moving forward. I want to start clocking in and clocking out to my editing time. I have no clue how long it takes me to edit videos because I don't really track that. I just, get it done over the course of a couple days. I want to start probably from the video that I'm editing right now, going ahead and saying, okay, I sat down at 6 p.m. It took 3 hours this night. The next night it took 2 hours. So I can get an idea of how long it takes me to edit this amount of footage. Tracking this video, the raw footage was 3 hours. This took how long to edit. So I can have an idea of what my turnaround time is for certain videos. Something else I'm committing to for the rest of the year is I'm going to set a hard deadline for myself for when I will start accepting clients as far as private practice. It's been kind of up in the air, like, okay, I'm getting a few tasks done every week, and then I chilled for several weeks of not doing those tasks and just kind of passively letting things happen. But there's things I could be working on right now. So I want to set a hard deadline for myself for, hey, by this date, you need to be fully operational, fully functional. Everything is ready to go. Somebody could call you today and you'll be ready for a session tomorrow. I'm going to set that deadline for myself and stick to it. Yeah, I think that's it as far as work career type stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat this food up again because I like my food hot, and then I'm gonna sit down and edit for a while. I'll see y'all a little bit later once I'm showered, and we'll go ahead and chat about rest and recovery. Honestly so tired, but I was trying to push through because I was in a good flow at editing. So I kept saying, just go ahead and edit a little bit more, keep editing till you have this much raw footage left. And that's why I think out of all the categories we have discussed over the weekend, this one is the one I am the worst at, and that is rest and recovery. So we'll just jump right into it. What's not working? Staying up too late, sacrificing sleep to edit or play on my phone, feeling like nighttime is the only uninterrupted time I have for myself as a mom, the pattern I had of always rushing and then waiting till I'm almost exhausted or burnt out to give myself permission to stop or slow down. Those things are not working. Over the last few months, this year, sleep has went out the window, and I've talked about it so much. Yeah, I need to prioritize sleep. I'm inconsistently prioritizing sleep, meaning for a couple days, it'll be great. We're on routine. We're going to bed early, waking up early, and then turns into going to bed super late, but still trying to keep my morning routine. So it's like I'm just decreasing the amount of sleep I'm getting, and it's not good at all. It's not good. I always plan to prioritize sleep, but do I follow through with it? Most of the time, no. And like I said, if I do, it's inconsistent. I'll have a couple days of, I'm getting some immaculate sleep, or maybe even a week or two, and then it's back to bare bones, 3-4 hours. What is working? Do I have anything to say? I would say as of recent, like within the last week, week and a half, I've adopted a few new habits that have helped in this area for sure. And one thing I started doing for phone use is using an app that pretty much locks all my social media, YouTube, all that up at a certain time at night. So I have no choice but to put the phone away and focus on going to bed. The things that I am committing to moving forward. 1, prioritizing sleep as a part of the schedule. I love to plan. I need to start planning for sleep and sticking to it like I stick to the plan for other things. If this is bedtime, this is bedtime. I have to. Scheduling downtime and times of intentional rest. This doesn't always mean sleeping at night. Resting as in, Shayla, go sit on the couch and chill. I don't even do things like that. I don't just go sit on my couch and relax. I don't just go sit on the couch and watch TV. I don't go sit on the couch and read. Just lay there, close my eyes for a second. I don't just go sit down and chill. I'm never in my bed other than when it's time to sleep. Times where I'm intentionally resting or kind of chilling. I want to be more intentional about multiple forms of rest outside of sleep. I also want to have more evenings where there's no productivity involved. Nothing productive to do. Is literally just clock out of work, mommy mode, chill time, fun time. That's it. And then slow nighttime routine, showers, bed, dinner, all that stuff. So yeah, like I said, out of every category we talked about, I think this one is the one that I do the worst with. And it's the one that I really need to focus on a lot. It's not healthy to not get adequate sleep. I know this, but to know and to do are two different things. So I need to make sure that I'm taking intentional steps to commit to the things I just stated. Part of learning how to rest is remembering that I can do things simply because I enjoy them, not because I'm obligated to, nor do I have to. And that's what leads us to the very last category, hobbies. Rest and recovery is about protecting my capacity, and personal hobbies is more so about making room for the things that I enjoy. This one isn't really a what's working, what's not working category. I think I do pretty well here. I do well here. As of now, at least, whenever I started scheduling more intentional wind down time, and wind down not being, oh, scroll on social media for a little bit till you're tired. No, wind down activities. I like to do diamond painting. I like to read. I just bought a new puzzle that I want to start doing soon. I like cozy, chill hobbies, especially on the weekend. Weekend is usually going to be an activity like the diamond painting or something like that. And then weekdays is going to be reading. Actually, tonight I'm going to be reading as well. I'm reading The Red Letter by Daniel G. Miller. I'm going to read for probably 5 or 10 minutes, and I know I'm going to be ready to knock out. I do want to be more intentional about making sure I've left room for these activities that I enjoy and not try to squeeze them in after I've worked myself to the bone in other areas. So I definitely want to be more intentional about like, hey, I'm about to chill and do this, not, oh, I have 5 minutes before I go to bed. Let me go ahead and do X, Y, Z. No, I want to be intentional about planning for hobbies and calm time activities because I like those. I like being alone in my house, and I love doing activities like that bring me joy. So for the life audit I did with my friends, we did have a category of spiritual, and that one was more deep and reflective, and I wrote a lot of things down. We talked, cried, all the things, prayed. So I'm gonna keep that one to myself, but of course I have spiritual goals. If you're new here, I am a believer and follower in Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, and my desire will always be to continue to grow a closer relationship with God. I did do reflections on like what is distracting me, where am I growing deeper with Christ, what is he teaching me in this season. I'm going to leave a good bit of reflection questions down in the bottom of my description, so if you're interested in doing a life audit for yourself, make sure to check that out. It is available. These are just questions that I came up with, pulled from different things, so don't feel like it's black or white, like you have to follow it like that. Do whatever fits your life. If you have other categories you'd want to add those categories in. If you have categories you want to take out, take them out. Do this for yourself, whether you're writing it down, talking to somebody about it. I really enjoyed this weekend and just reflecting. The purpose of doing a life audit is not to walk away with 100 things that you're doing wrong. It was more so to just be introspective and reflect and see where you are and if what you're doing is aligned with where you're trying to go. Paying attention, what's working, what's not working, what needs more of me, what needs less of me, and what am I actually being called to prioritize in this season. I'm leaving this weekend with things that I'm proud of myself for, things that I want to change, and things that I'm committing to for the remainder of this year, and so on. If you made it this far into the video, go ahead and leave this emoji in the comments. And with this emoji, let me know if you were doing a life audit, what categories would you choose? And if you are going to do it, let me know you're going to do it, because I think it's a really good idea to do. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, comment, hype, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss when I'm posting a video. And I will see you all. Actually, you guys are about to be packed up tomorrow and shipped off. I almost forgot. Yeah, we made it through this video. Camera's broken, but we made it through. So I cannot confirm or deny if there will be a video next week. The only way I can film is if I really do a cleanup of storage. So I don't want to make any promises, but I pray that by the time you're seeing this video, my camera is already back to me, fixed and ready to go. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you when I see you. Toodles!